DACT itself, bearing in mind you would always usually start further out, so you would start with an intercept. So the joy of the Blue Vixen was that it was what was called interleave multi-pulse repetition frequency, so would use the right pulse repetition frequency, PRF, depending on whether it was looking up, level or down. And one of the benefits that gave you is it gave you a very high fidelity radar track when it got the radar track,
right.
And that's what the AMRAAM needed. So, because the way an AMRAAM or any air-to-air missile works is if you can tell it with certainty exactly where the enemy is, it will give you a better chance of getting there, and it will reflect that in your symbology. So at that stage of the intercept, I think that against most players, we usually used to surprise them because actually we had quite low power on the radar, and that allowed us to take AIM 120 shots when maybe they weren't used to defending against shots of that nature. Because being one of the first AMRAAM shooters, we were up against people that were used to Fox 1 shooters that needed an illumination to shoot, and we didn't need to do that. In close, we really struggled against the F-jets, so the 15s, 16s, 18s, that all had their strengths, different strengths. Obviously, the F-15 had a lot of power, F-16 could take a lot of, was incredibly good at turning, F-18 very good at flying slow. So we had to use some things to our advantage. Small size, for example, we're very, very small compared to an F-15 or an F-14. I think that the of those jets, when I got to the front line and you sort of go through your, in your mind's eye, who would you be scared of fighting? I don't think we were scared of fighting most of those platforms or the Russian platforms. The Tornado F3, I've got to say this, haven't I, because I'm a Sea Harrier driver, I don't think that was a great air-to-air platform myself. It had a lot, it had more weapons than us, could go faster, could go further. We can get into the twin seat versus single seat debate, which will rage till long after I'm dead. But that wasn't anywhere near the top of the pile. I'd say the French jets were very good as well. The Mirages, the 2000 series, particularly with the RDY radar, that they were fruity. So in close we would always struggle, and occasionally you could use VIF to give you that one party trick that may work or may not. But I think a lot is made of the within visual range fight that you have to get through the beyond visual range fight to get to, and I think that probably a good way of looking at the FA2 with AMRAAM is I've got a long punch. If you can get under it, you're going to make my day very, very hard, but you've got 4 punches to get under, so you might struggle.